CEO was created as a demonstration project of the Vera Institute of Justice to meet employment needs after people come home from incarceration. The project was spun off into a freestanding nonprofit in 1996 and has kept the same organizing principle as originally intended, addressing employment needs when individuals are first released. This is a time when people are most motivated to look for employment, but also when it's most difficult to find a job. CEO continues to meet this challenge today. CEO believes that everyone who wants to work should have the preparation and support that they need to find a job and stay connected to the labor force, including people with criminal histories. After spending years improving and evaluating our program to demonstrate its impact, CEO got the opportunity to expand to jurisdictions outside of New York City. Today, CEO is a national organization with 10 offices in 3 states: New York, California, and Oklahoma. We're seeking to grow in current jurisdictions and identify future ones. CEO exclusively focuses on helping formerly incarcerated people find and maintain employment. But our impact goes far beyond these individuals. Today, there are over 7 million children with a parent involved in the criminal justice system. CEO's employment services and training for full-time work are life preservers for thousands of formerly incarcerated people transitioning back into the workforce, family, and community life. CEO was first among its peers to submit to a long-term randomized evaluation that proved our model enhances public safety, increases employment for the highest risk individuals, and saves money. Our program allows dollars to be reinvested into communities, education, public infrastructure, and healthcare, just to name a few. CEO's theory of change is that if the employment needs of people with criminal convictions can be addressed at their most vulnerable and yet most motivated point upon release from incarceration, they are less likely to reoffend and more likely to build positive foundations for themselves and for their families. Simply put, CEO offers the right model to the right people at the right time. We measure success by tracking recidivism and employment rates. And within our employment metrics, we track job placements, wages, and job retention. A 3-year random assignment evaluation proved CEO reduces recidivism by over 20% and increases employment for the highest risk individuals, while saving almost $4 for every dollar spent on the program. People would be surprised by the volume of individuals that CEO enrolls and the hundreds of employers working with us. We've enrolled about 35,000 individuals since our inception and serve more than 3,000 each year. One reason for such high enrollment is that our door is wide open and our criteria so broad. We intentionally focus on the hardest population there is, those at the highest risk of reoffending. CEO has served more than 35,000 formerly incarcerated individuals. We received one of the largest Social Innovation Fund awards in the country, allowing us to replicate our program in 9 cities outside New York. In the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, a storm that devastated many New York communities, CEO stepped up. At the request of the mayor, CEO's transitional work crews helped clean up some of the hardest hit, lowest income communities. We mobilized within 48 hours and worked 7 days a week. CEO is now able to use this experience to help other cities when they face similar challenges. Our issue is not popular with the general public, and most people think it doesn't affect them. It's a challenge to demonstrate that our work affects everyone, from the millions of children whose parents are involved in the justice system to locations where the rate of spending on incarceration is twice that of higher education. With CEO, communities are safer, families are healthier, and states and cities are stronger economically. Our benefits may take a few steps to see clearly, but they're real, as evidenced not just by the numbers, but by the success stories. We see the impact of what we do every day, and our challenge is to share this with others. With additional resources, we'd balance our growth and scale with the need for continuous learning and innovation. We'd continue to build the quality of our service delivery model, helping people move along their career pathway with targeted, industry-specific training that can lead to advancement and wage growth. We can't leave people at the entrance to the career pathway. We need to support them as they move along this path towards better jobs and higher incomes through which they can support their families and invest in their communities as productive citizens. Despite programs like CEO, thousands and thousands of people with criminal convictions are missing out on employment opportunities. We'd like to close this vocational justice gap by creating more industry-specific trainings in areas of job growth. We would do this by building employer support through governor-sponsored initiatives like Work for Success in New York. With this support, we can help fulfill the human potential of individuals, families, and communities, and help shift attitudes towards reentry policy and people with criminal convictions.